Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be maintaining your composure with beautiful women. Well, I'd say one of the biggest mistakes that guys make with girls is, especially when they're around beautiful women, you can see this. You'll see 5 or 6 guys talking, and then a really smoking hot girl will walk up to the group, and then all of them, their physiology will change to a submissive type of physiology. They'll all start falling all over themselves to compliment her or to try to impress her or to get their attention. And what happens is they basically stop acting like themselves. They stop acting like they're comfortable in their own skin, and they start acting weak and needy. They turn into pleasers. Can I do something for you? Can I get something for you? Because they're all trying to prove themselves because they've just had it beat into their head from the time they're little boys by being brainwashed by thousands of television shows and movies that always show that it's the job's man to basically prove himself and prove his worth to a woman. And maybe, just maybe, she'll give you a little bit of attention. But you notice a girl that walks up to the group that's not very attractive, and they all treat her like it's just another person, like it's one of the guys. And that is what you need to do. You need to treat all women the same, especially the beautiful women. And so the question, I've got an email here from a reader, and he says, "Hey, Corey, I just read your book, and it's fantastic, and it's been a really big help. I'm excited again about chasing women, and it's made all the difference after I read your book. I used to have such a confused approach to women, but now I have a stronger method to the madness, and it's really helped me. Your tip on setting a time and a date and being specific for the first date really impresses the ladies I've noticed so far. Making indefinite dates is a great way to communicate your dominance and the fact that you're direct, and also that you're successful with women in general, because guys that are successful, they're busy and they don't have time to fuck around and waste. It's basically, are you in or are you out? Do you want to set a date or not? And you do that by following the steps I talk about in my book." He says, anyways, my question is, number one, when are you going to write a book on online dating? You touched on it briefly in your book, but left me wanting more. Honestly, 90% of the women I've met have been through online dating sites, and you could probably make a ton of money writing a follow-up book on online dating methods, as we both know it's a totally different animal than meeting women in a mall. Not really. I did an article probably a year ago, and I've done numerous videos on online dating. It doesn't really need to be in a whole book format, because it's the same kind of stuff that I talk about in my book, but I did an article that you should Google called, just Google Corey Wayne, Creating the Ultimate Online Dating Profile. And I tell you exactly what to do from sending out the first email, because when I do online dating, I never send out emails to girls. That's a complete waste of time. I put on there what I'm looking for, and if you follow the guidelines that I have on the online dating profile, the Ultimate Online Dating Profile article that I wrote, if you just follow those guidelines, you'll have 3 or 4 really great, super high quality women that are exactly what you're looking for contacting you on a monthly basis that you can practice on. And then the shoe of rejection is on their foot, because they're the ones reaching out to you. And if they're reaching out to you, it's because they already have a high level of interest in you to start with. And that makes things so much easier. So when they reach out to you, you just say, "Hey, well, when are you free to meet up for a drink?" if you like their profile. And sometimes they'll set a date right away with that. But a lot of times what they'll say is, "Well, can we talk on the phone first?" And I'll say, "Sure." And then I'll just email my phone number, my cell number, and say, "Give me a call." And then they've got to reach out to me and text me, and it's great because it starts the relationship where they're chasing you from the beginning. And if a chick is chasing you, she's not going to be getting rid of you, obviously, unless you screw something up. And so when she calls you, talk for no more than 10 minutes. It's not necessary to give her a level any more than 10 minutes on the phone. You just say, "Hey, you sound like a really nice girl. When are you free to get together for a drink?" Wait for her to respond, and then make a definite date with a definite place and time to get together, and then just say, "Awesome, well, I'll see you there. I got your number. It's in my caller ID now. If something comes up, I'll give you a buzz. Otherwise, I'll just see you at the restaurant or the bar or Starbucks or whatever it happens to be." And she'll confirm it, and you say, "Great, I look forward to meeting you." And then get off the phone, and that's it. And then she'll be thinking about you the 2 or 3 days, or however many days it's going to be until you're actually going to get together. And so when you actually meet in person, as long as she likes what she sees and you're able to make sure she's doing 70-80% of the talking by asking questions, and you really feel like you connect in person, then you'll have a great date, and you'll go for the kiss at the end of the date just like you would on any other date. The difference is, obviously, you're not going to be picking her up at her house, because you don't want to do that anyways on a chick you met over the internet, because sometimes they're not going to look as good in person as they do in their pictures. And that way, if you just meet for a drink for your first date, that's the best approach to have towards it. So he says, my next question is, it's a critical one. I'm excited to hear your answer on. What are your methods for staying centered around a woman you're crazy about? I'll feel strong at work, meet a woman in the mall I'm blown away with, and lose all power on the inside. There are tricks to maintaining composure, so I will project it outward. Thanks again for a great book and your help. Well, something that you may want to look into is called NSA. It stands for Network Spinal Analysis. And that is the one thing that I've done in my life out of all the personal growth, personal development stuff that I spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on, which is, not that I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on NSA, but it's Network Chiropractic Care. And what it is they, instead of cracking your bones like most normal chiropractors do, they make light contacts in your neck and in your spine, and it causes your body to drop all the muscle tension. And what it does is it gets your brain out of the base, which is the base of your brain here, where your spinal cord connects to your skull. And that's associated with fight or flight response. And so it's like when you meet somebody, it's like over the course of your life, you have different traumas, whether from an actual physical accident or sports accidents or just emotional traumas. Maybe you grew up in a shitty, fucked up household like I did. And so you're kind of always stuck in fight or flight response, and so you never really feel comfortable. And so what it does is it actually drops the nervous tension in your spine, and it makes you feel peaceful, it makes you feel relaxed, it just naturally makes you stand up straight, it makes you move your chest out. I did a YouTube video a while back called Body Language That Attracts Women that I highly recommend that you watch, and if you emanate that body language and that physiology, that will help you out. But repetition is the mother of skill, and so the more you interact with beautiful women and the more you talk to them, the more you start to treat them like any other girl. And that's what women want. They want to just be treated like everybody else. And most of men in society, when they get around a beautiful woman, they put her on a pedestal and they start kissing her ass, and they don't know how to be authentic or act authentic around her, or they say really fucking stupid things. And especially really super beautiful women, they're just dying to meet a guy who knows how to act normal, and if he likes her, he's direct and he gets right to the fucking point. He doesn't sit there talking in circles or complimenting her on her earrings or her fingernails when he thinks that she's drop dead gorgeous. A guy who's comfortable in his own skin is going to tell her exactly what he likes right from the get-go. But a lot of guys who are starting out, that's really hard. I mean, a lot of guys just have a hard time making eye contact or even talking to a woman, much less coming right out and saying, I think you're one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. It's all about, because repetition is the mother of skill, and the more you practice and the more you interact with beautiful women, the more comfortable you're going to become, because then you're going to realize that they really are. All women are just the same. All women are insecure about something, whether it's about their body or about themselves when you start talking to them, and they'll express those things. Because when you feel unsure of yourself, that's really feminine energy, and that's why, even though you might feel it inside, you got to fake it until you make it. And so make sure you smile a lot, and you make sure you're the one asking the questions in the conversation, and that way you'll be the one that's always leading the conversation. But you got to practice it. I highly encourage you to do NSA, because that will help you tremendously. That will make you, it'll make a night and day difference. And on my website, in the right hand column, there's a video that I did a while back called From Dud to Stud in 4 days, and you can see two guys that I took through this process, and I had them get several, not only in addition to my coaching, but I had them get NSA adjustments for several days. And you could literally see from the beginning of the show to the end of the show, it's a night and day difference between these guys, the way they talk, the way they look. I mean, they look 100% more confident they did in the beginning of the show. And it's amazing just what a few, what they call not so much adjustments, they call them entrainments, but what just a few entrainments will do to help you feel more confident, comfortable in your own skin. So you can go to Google and just search NSA chiropractor, network chiropractic in my area or in your particular city. And you can also go to Donnie Epstein's website, who's the founder of NSA, called Wise World Seminars. But the last time I was there, he didn't have a lot of the practitioners that are actually approved to do this. So it'd be better to do a Google search until he gets his new website. He gets all those practitioners in there, because there's literally thousands of them all over the world. But the last time I was in there, there was probably less than 50 of them in there. So, because he just upgraded his website recently. So those are things that I would suggest, but practice and repetition is what, more than anything, will help you lose your fear of beautiful women, so you can just interact with them and treat them like anybody else that you see on a daily basis. So if you have a question that you want to ask me, or there's a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which is going to be on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max detailing your questions, your situation, your challenges, and you just got to give me several days to get back to you with a response. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. And you can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which can be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, on my website, underneath the email sign-up box, is a box that has a link that will take you directly to the Amazon Kindle download page for my book. And if you don't have a Kindle device, on the right-hand side, there's a button you can click to open up a window to download a free e-reader app for your smartphone, your tablet device, or your computer. It only takes a matter of seconds to download and install the app, and only a few more seconds after that to complete the purchase of my book, and I'll be reading it in no time. And I will talk to you soon.